It's 2015 and I'm 10 years old, coming back from my first day of school. When I got home, I decided to lay down on my bed and watch some YouTube. After watching 3 DanTDM Minecraft videos, I came across a certain piece of content. The thumbnail was this woman with a curvy body, arching her back and just tooting it up in the air. And in that YouTube title, it said, Best Twerk Compilation of the Year. I instantly was intrigued, so I tapped the video on my tablet, and just like that, it changed my life forever. Every day, I caught myself just watching over and over all of these twerk compilations and, just women online on the internet. Of course, I'm in school, so I'm looking at other women, but it's like I can get this shit from my physical home, from my device. I didn't have to go out and put myself out here to be rejected. I didn't have to do any of that. I could literally go on my phone and get it right there. So I'm happy at this point, So every other day I'm watching it, and this turned from like every other day type of thing to everyday type of thing, 1 time a day, 2 times a day. It would just keep on increasing, and it'd be these long periods of times where I'm just staring at my phone. And I know my parents probably wondering, my mind specifically, yo, what the hell is this kid doing there? He always on his phone. Yeah, I'm in my room watching twerk compilations all fucking day, bro. When I'm chilling and it's at nighttime, I go ahead, I toss one on. All right, bet, I'm gonna watch this. My mom cooks some food, I go in my room. I start watching it on my tablet. It ended up on my big screen TV. So now I'm sitting here just watching it every day. Like, damn, late at night, 1, 2 a.m., I'm watching it, and I gotta be up for school at 5 a.m. At this point, it's kind of like, okay, I'm watching this stuff, but I kind of want to take this to the next level. Every time I watch this stuff, I keep feeling something down there get hard. Is this arousing me? At the time, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just enjoying the feeling of feeling how I felt. Letting my desires run wild. I can't believe I'm even saying this. I would literally fucking hump my pillow as I'm watching this shit. And it got to the point, I'm humping my pillow, I'm butt ass fucking naked. I said, man, this kind of uncomfortable. So I would wrap my pillow up in this soft blanket and continuously just fucking hump my pillow, bro. And it got to the point, I'm humping it. I nutted. First time, nutted. I didn't even know what the fuck. I said, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? But I go ahead. I just let loose. There it was. My first nut on a fucking pillow, wrapped in a blanket, as I'm watching twerk compilation videos. So I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I've never told nobody this shit to this day. There's somebody out here probably listening like, what the fuck? I never told nobody this shit to this day. So after that day, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. It became a consistent thing. I'm talking about, I would literally be fucking my pillow, bro. I'd be fucking my pillow, bro. I can't make this shit. I would be fucking a pillow wrapped in a blanket. And I would be getting off. Like, I would be enjoying it. It got to the point I'm watching this shit damn near every fucking night. I'm chilling. I would just get the urge. So I just wake up. I gotta go ahead and gotta see what's to this pillow. I would literally be making love to it, grabbing on it like it's a real person. Like, I would literally be manifesting the act of pursuing intimacy with a woman. I would be looking at my pillow as if it was a fucking woman. I would still go to school, act like nothing happened, but that was my, my dirty little secret when I got home, I would be fucking my pillow. Fast forward to the end of my 6th grade year. It was time for me to leave school, right? Because we're going on summer break, so boom, we got out of school. And for some reason, my mother was like, hey, you should go visit your dad in Texas. I'm like, cool, I haven't seen him in a while, and I want to go see what's up. So I'll go ahead and I go to Texas, right? I get down here, everything's cool. Of course, cool with my dad. We chopping it up, always laughing, having a good time. But it was a certain day that truly changed everything for me. My dad has a pretty nice complex. It's a nice apartment complex. At the time, it was only a 1 bedroom. So of course, he had the bedroom. I was in the living room on the couch. So I'm like, cool, I ain't tripping. And he had me a little blow up bed. It was comfortable, and he had the TV, so I was chilling. But it was just one night at 10 p.m. I remember it like it was yesterday. I got the urge. And when I got this urge, when I tell you, I was so, I don't know what the fuck happened? I'm so in the mood. I just want to do some shit right now. I go ahead and look up some toy videos. Then it got to the point I'm like, I'm getting kind of tired of seeing these toy videos, bro. I'm trying to see something real. I typed in big booty bitches naked. As soon as I did that, the HUD popped up. And when the HUD popped up, I still remember this shit like it was yesterday. I tapped that screen, my whole world changed. Once again, my whole world changed. I'd never seen nothing like this. And it was so much dopamine being hit. So much, it felt like adrenaline was pumping. I'm like, I'm consuming so much of it. It got to the point, I'm like, wow, I kind of don't want to be fucking a pillow or nothing. You know, I'm at my dad's house, so let me go in the bathroom, see what I can find. So I go in the bathroom, looking around, I see some lotion. I'm like, okay. You know, it feels pretty soft. I think it'll feel good on my skin. I go back into the living room where I was on the blow-up bed. I go ahead, 1 squirt, 2 squirt, 3 squirt. And I just kept doing it. Got it in my hands, looking down at my Johnson. And I go ahead and I start stroking. I start going crazy. And when I tell you, bro, I'm consuming and stroking at the same time, it got to the point I'm like, damn, this shit is amazing, bro. Like, yo, I'm like, yo, this shit, I've never felt nothing like this before, bro. Way better than humping a damn pillow. Way better. Bro, I did 1 round. As soon as I got done, another round. Just like that. It was fucking crazy. Like what happened before, it kind of became a consistent thing. You know, now I truly see what it's like to have intimacy. Not have intimacy. I don't yet see what it's like to have intimacy, but I see what it's like to see it. I'm seeing this on my phone. I'm seeing what they're doing. A few days after that, I went out to the pool. You know, it was a public pool of the, the whole complex. So I'll go ahead, I get in the pool and I'm seeing these girls now. Now I'm seeing women. I'm like, oh, and they in their bikinis. And they, you know what I'm saying? They got everything showing. They got, you know what I'm saying? They out there looking good. So what I would do, I had these goggles, right? I would put them on. I would go under the water just so I can look at them. Just so I can look at some booty, bro. I'm getting hard in the pool, bro. But can't cause nobody else had goggles, right? It was all grown folks. There was a few other kids, but nobody else had goggles. I was the only person out there with goggles. And y'all gotta understand, y'all. At this time, I'm about 10 to 11 years old. You know, these grown women, 30, 20, 30-year-old women, you know, they out there with nice bodies, nice, pretty faces, toes done, nails done, looking good. I'm in the water just looking around, a little perverted ass kid, bro. I came up and I saw one girl getting out the pool. I'm just looking. One girl splashed me like, what you doing? You know, joking on me like, yeah, stop looking at her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, I wasn't looking at her. I was looking hard, my nigga. I was tapped in. Laser focus. Superman laser beam vision on that ass. I'm looking at it. Lust is really just the pinnacle of my life. About 1 week later, I'm back in my dad's crib. It's about that time after 10 p.m. You know, he in his room sleep. Man, I'm sitting there, get the urge again. I go ahead, creep into the bathroom, grab the lotion. But this time, I didn't do it in the living room. Nah. Why? Because I remember he kind of opened the door, he went to the kitchen to get something, and then went back into his room. So I'm like, oh, okay, he's up. He's kind of up tonight. So what I did, I went back into the bathroom. I grabbed some tissue. I had the lotion, I put it on some tissue, right? And this time, instead of going to the living room, I had all my clothes on still. I went to a bathroom that wasn't in our house. I went to the apartment complex bathroom. When I tell you, I went into this bathroom, and you know what I did. I went to the bathroom, had my phone, had the video, and went crazy. It went fucking crazy, bro. I'm literally there for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just going, bro. I'm just going. And then I heard somebody walk into the bathroom. I had to kind of slow down. You know, so I hear them, you know, using the bathroom. I'm kind of scared. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna wait till he leave. He leave, I'm going back at it again, bro. Back at it again, bro. And when I finish, bro, it was like a different type of adrenaline rush, bro. Like I was gonna get caught, bro. So I was loving that shit, bro. And it sounds so fucked up to say, bro, but that shit was crazy, bro. It felt amazing still, bro. I was a perverted little kid, bro. So I finished up, went back into my dad's crib, laid down, went to sleep, and that was that, bro. So pretty much throughout the whole summer, I would catch those urges and, you know, do it pretty frequently. I would say I'm doing it at least 3 times a week. You know, of course nobody knows, only I know. And now you, because I'm fucking telling you the story. But the summer ends up ending, right? So I go back home. Now it is time for me to go into my 7th grade year, right? So my 7th grade year of middle school. At this time, I had some friends where they were very interesting. So this one time I'm in class, we gonna call this guy, his name was Herb. You know, my nigga Herb. You know what I'm saying? So he in class, he like, yo, M, come over here, bro. So, you know, I go over, I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? He said, look at this. Guess what this nigga's watching, bro? In the middle of class, bro, this nigga's watching corn, bro. Nigga's watching corn. But the type of corn this nigga was watching was crazy. I'm like, bro, what did you watch? I said, damn. So we sitting there like, what? Just watching. Like he was watching it was like 2 girls. I'm like, oh, what? I said, 2 girls? I thought it could only be a girl and a guy. He said, I know, it's 2 girls. Fucking down bad. In the middle of class, we in like the back of the class, so nobody can really see us. I'm like, wow, bro, that's crazy. But that's the type of environment I was in. And then after that, bro, guess what I did when I went home? Looked it up, looking on my phone. Like, I'm saying, what was that video? Oh yeah, 2 girls. Bow, 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 bow. Lotion. I'm fucking down bad, y'all. Like, this is crazy, bro. So now, my friends started a group chat, okay? You know, my friends started a group chat within, you know, our school. You know, it was pretty much our whole basketball team. And within this group chat, bro, I'm gonna just keep it real. It started off so fucking calm. It was just jokes, memes, and all this other shit. But one day, one of the guys sent some nudes of a girl in our school. I'm like, oh, this wasn't. He like, yeah, this wasn't that. And yo, when I tell you, bro, when I saw this shit, I'm like, damn, that shit's crazy. And then another dude, he sent the nude. Another, and then guess what happened? It became a domino effect. Everybody sending nudes, bro. Everybody. And this would be like a once in a while thing where we just start sending news to the group chat, bro. Sending news. First, it was news, just regular corn off the internet, but then it started being corn from girls in our school. Like, yeah, I was with her. She sent me some videos. She sent me this. And he would go ahead, or they would go ahead and send it to the group chat. Now me, I'll be the motherfucker in there just looking through that shit. I'm like, say that. Add that to the I'm in the store, bro. I'm just shopping for free though. So it's kind of fucked up. It is fucked up. But that's what it was, bro. That's the type of shit I was seeing coming up as a young nigga, bro. I'm like, damn. You feel me? And guess what I would do? Go ahead, go do it again. To those videos and news that I got from that group chat, bro. It was just adding to my collection of lustful thoughts, bro. I remember it was this one time, I was talking to this one girl, Zia. I'm talking to Zia. We were in class, and we were just kind of talking and flirting. And she was like, yo, you know, I wanna see some. I'm like, what you wanna see? She said, how big is your you know what? I'm like, how big is my you know what? I said, I don't know, shit. I never really measured my shit. I said, why you wanna touch it? You wanna see what's up? She's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, oh, you wanna touch? Oh, she real, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, cause I'm kind of nervous. I kind of bitched out. I'm like, shit. So I'm like, hold on. I go to the bathroom, bro. I'm in the bathroom, just trying to get it up. You know, I'm not trying to bust. I'm just trying to get it up so she can touch it. I'm like, okay, boom. Okay, now so boom. So I go ahead and I get it up. So I was like, okay. Now I'm hard. You know what I'm saying? I kind of show what I'm working with. So I go back into the class. And I sit down next to her. She like, you must have just went to the bathroom so you can get it up. I said, what you talking about? Like it's like she knew what the fuck I was doing, bro. Like, how the fuck do you know that? You a girl. You feel me? She touched it. She just looked at me. I said, yeah. And she laughed. I said, are you laughing? She said, because why was you so scared for me to touch it? I'm like, shit. But the reason I was scared, y'all, is because it was like every fucking day. I ain't gonna lie, I was being myself. So I had to make sure I had enough energy to get it up. But fast forward to 8th grade, bro, what the fuck? I meet this girl named Lila. You know, we talked about her in a previous video. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably pop it up on the screen somewhere, all right? I meet this girl, I'll go ahead. She was my best friend at first, but then we got real close and she became my girl, right? When she became my girl, we started getting a bit intimate, you know? We started really talking more about the, you know what, the lustful thoughts in our minds. And, you know, it just was that. It was that. We were exchanging photos and videos of each other, and we were really just, you know, having fun together. We was really doing what we needed to do to get off that, you feel me? That's what we was on. So boom, at this point, I'm like, shit, I'm trying to see what's to it for real though. So I remember it was just one day, I asked her like, hey, I'm really trying to make this shit happen. Like, what's up? What you trying to do? She's like, oh, you trying to make it do what it do. So we ended up going to this swimming pool. It was for my birthday. I invited my friends too because, you know, I just wanted to, you know, have a good time at the swimming pool. But we in there, we in the pool, you know, we swimming around. She come by me, she swim next to me. Like, yeah, you know, we flirting and stuff still. I remember one time though, I like got hard at the pool. So I like, hey, come here, you know, and then she went by me. So I'm like behind her and I'm in her ear just kind of talking to her, telling her some things that were very lustful, you know, but I'm just kind of talking nasty in her ear and we just kind of laughing and giggling and flirting and you know what it is. But after that though, we ended up leaving the pool, right? It was about time to go. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go home and get some stuff. Like, hey Lila, you trying to come with me? She like, yeah. And then my homeboy, his name was Pat. He like, hey, you want me to come too? I'm like, nah, bro, y'all ain't got to. I kind of winked at him. He said, all right. Boom, me and her walking to my house. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You was looking good, what you was wearing. I can't wait till we get to this crib. She said, boy, stop, we just gotta get some, right? I said, yeah, we gotta get some. We both gotta get some. She said, what you mean? I said, hey, just come with me. So we go ahead, we go into the crib. Boom. As soon as we get into the crib, y'all, I get to get more touchy now, because now we're in my domain expansion. Domain expansion. You're done. First we get to talking, then we get to kissing, then we get to touching and kissing. But before we can get to that point, my mama, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I put on D&D, but then I hit a garage door. I'm like, fuck. So I answered the phone. She's like, yeah. They said, y'all went home, so I'm here to pick y'all up. I'm like, fuck it. We kind of had to get ourselves together, get dressed and stuff. We hop in the car, and my mama take us back to my friends. You know, so that was that. You know, I was kind of ticked off because I'm like, I kind of wanted to get going with Lila and stuff, but don't trip. We got more opportunities. Our game plan was to meet up at that same swimming pool once again. So me and Lila, you know, we go ahead and, you know, we trying to meet up at the swimming pool again. So we go ahead, we meet up at the swimming pool again, but this time it's me, it's her, and then she got her cousins, right? She got her girl cousin, and then she got her boy cousin. At the time, we're about 13 years old. So we get there. This time, we didn't even go in the pool. As soon as we got there, like 5 to 10 minutes in, we said, hey, we finna go back to the crib and play 2K. Her cousin like, huh? Why y'all come to the pool then? We're like, hey, shit, you know, we just want to kind of chill at the pool real quick. We finna go play 2K, man. He's like, oh, shit, can I come? I'm like, nah, man, I gotta teach you how to play the game. He's like, oh, you gotta teach the dribble moves. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta teach the dribble moves. So yeah, dumbass. So yeah, we went back to my crib. You feel me? We're back at the crib now. I got a white wild wanna. Tell me why I had some whipped cream, some strawberries, my little freaky ass, bro. Like I was watching all these videos. Like, I was on game, y'all. So I go ahead, pop that shit out. I'm using the whipped cream. I'm using the strawberries. I can't get too much in detail. We still on YouTube, people. It came a time for me to stick my coin into her coin machine. You know, put it in her coin machine. My coin wasn't going into her coin machine. So I'm kind of getting ticked off. Just a little ticked off. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? She's like, what's going on? You know, you're trying to put your coin in my coin machine. What's going on? So I'm sitting here trying to put my coin in her coin machine, and I'm kind of getting frustrated because I'm like, yo, what's going on? I keep trying. She's like, maybe we should do this another time. I'm like, hold on. Whoa, let's hold on. Let me work my magic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying. I'm like, I had this like little pissed off look on my face, but she like looked back and she thought it was like a face of disgust and ugh. So she like, you know what? Watch out. And she like start putting on her clothes. I'm like, yo, hold on. What we doing? What we doing? You know, this, that, but what we doing? Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Now we in this R&B music video, and I'm kind of chasing her like, wait, where you going? You know what I'm saying? My name is Emery. Last name Booker. Like, I'm trying to see like what we doing here. She like, nah, you know, she start getting that air in the plumber. I saw the way you looked at me. I don't like that. You know, I don't really like that. You know, it's a lot of weird activity going around here. Promiscuity. I don't like that. You know, she was really just mad because of the face I made. I'm like, why? I was just kind of frustrated that I couldn't stick my coin into your coin machine. That's why I was, you know, pissed off. Just a little bit though. So now she's leaving. I'm chasing her like I'm in this fucking R&B music video. You know, I barely even have my clothes on, but I got my clothes on. You know, when I came out, I got my clothes on, and boom, she ended up walking back to the pool. I walked her halfway, so you know you can see the pool. So okay, I'm like, all right, man, look, I'll see you later. And she like, stop, come back, hug me, and then she walk off. I'm like, so that was that. 7 tries later. Yes, I said 7 tries later. It's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. 7 tries later, she comes over to my house, and I finally figured out what I had to do. I had to oil up the machine beforehand, you know, before I could stick my coin in. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, I just gotta oil this motherfucker up. And I have to foreplay, you know, foreplay, you know, so I go ahead and I do the foreplay. So when I do the foreplay, that's where I get to the point where I can actually play. When I did that, easy access. And for the first time at the age of 14, I lost my virginity. Now that we finally lost our V, you know, our V card, we are doing it a bit more. You know, this became a consistent thing, you know, about 2 to 3 times, sometimes 4 times a month, pretty much every week. We were like that. No, we were like that. But for real though. So we went ahead and we're doing it. And that love that, you know, I was having for her started slowly but surely turning into a lot of lust, you know, because I've upgraded. You know, I've came so far, y'all. I was at the toy videos with the pillow, to the lotion with the actual videos, to watching it in class, to getting the, you know, the pictures and nudes, you know, from girls in the school, and, you know, watching it. I kept upgrading, y'all. And now I'm finally at the point where I have lost it. I have lost it. What have I lost? I've lost all my morals. I'm out here doing some nasty shit. I have to repent for my sins, seriously. But yeah, we're doing it, and that love, man, it just turned into lust. I'm not looking at this girl as somebody I truly want to be with for the rest of my life. I'm looking at this girl as somebody who I want to fuck for the rest of my life. That's how I was feeling, man. That's the mindset it put me in. Not only that, she would be trying to like go on dates and do all this lovey-dovey shit. I'm like, hey, same time I ate, you know, and it was kind of fucked up. I do apologize if she's watching this video, you know, because yeah, I know you probably may be watching, you know, I just have a feeling. But fast forward to the end of my freshman year in high school, and you know, me and my girl, I'm gonna be real, it got toxic. It got to the point where it was a lot of arguing, a lot of back and forth, a lot of, you know, situations. It was a time where this guy like grabbed her ass. I guess it was a game of truth or dare, and he got dared to grab her ass. She's like, no, what the fuck? And I guess she wasn't with it. I'm like, okay, that's sexual assault, you know, but it looked like it got looked over. So I'm like, okay, was this actually, you know, did you want this? Did you want this to happen? So yeah, I'm like, okay. I was pissed off and I was kind of mad at her for some time, but it was more situations that kept building on top of that. And I'm just like, yo, I don't really want this shit no more, man. I started really thinking on it, but this is what solidified it. My friends, it was my homeboy Jay, my homeboy Pat, and homegirl named Yaya. They was going to Deer District. You know, it was this big event where every summer it was Deer District, when you go downtown in Milwaukee and just, you know, you just have some fun. You know, you just downtown having a good time. And I know what they was going for. They was going to talk to some girls, have fun, just chill. So I'm like, hey, I want to do that shit too. You know, I'm tired of this toxic ass relationship, but I don't want to fuck over this girl. So what did I do? I broke up with her. And it hurt her feelings for real. Y'all know she was crying. Was I crying? No, but I was kind of sad though. I just understood that I don't want to fuck her over and I want to see other people. End up going to Deer District. Yeah, man, I'm talking to different women, you know, just going around, and yeah, man, I'm a single man. I'm just living my life now. Got some numbers, and yeah, man, that was that. So going into my junior year, after that happened, I'm officially single, and man, I start watching a lot more corn because now I'm very much so in the mindset of I want to, keep on but also I'm also talking to women trying to see what's up. Like, hey, what's your name? Okay, your name there. Hey, you free on Saturday? I want to take you somewhere. I think we should go somewhere nice. You like a sushi type of girl. I'm working my magic now, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just know I had that fucking sauce, nigga. Of course you're gonna have some. They gonna be with the shit. Some gonna be playing. Some gonna be ghosty. Some gonna be flaky. But it was one in specifically, and her name was Janice. Now here's the thing about Janice, y'all. Janice was a light-skinned, little petite thing, you know what I'm saying? Now I met her in 8th grade when I was single, right? That was in 8th grade when I was single. And we were like talking as well, we got into a little relationship, but it was like long distance, so that shit didn't really work. And then a bitch cheated on me. But that's the past. I don't care. I just want some ass, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm gonna let you slide. You cheated. You was a little dirty bitch. Janice hit me up one day. I hit her up. I'm like, yo, what's up, Janice? She like, what's up? I told her, like, look, I'm trying to see you today. I'm trying to see what's up. She like, are you trying to see me? Well, pull up on me then. Remember, y'all, this is halfway through my junior year. So she told me pull up. I throw on a t-shirt, some joggers, and some Uggs, because, it was snowing at that time. It's cold as shit outside. So I'm trying to be comfortable while I get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I go ahead, I throw my shit on. Hop in the whip, I'm on the way. I'm playing that OTW, on the way. You know who the damn rapper is. I'm on the way. 80 in a 50 fucking ticket, because I ain't had that in a minute. And what I'm saying? I'm playing that when I'm on the way. She called me when I'm halfway. She like, yo, can you pick me up some McDonald's? I'm like, so I'll go ahead, man. I'll go ahead and go to McDonald's. Her sister wanted something too. So I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't even like that. I'll go ahead, boom, pick up the McDonald's, shoot to her crib. Boom, I'm at her crib. Hey, I'm like, damn. I get to her place. It's like this nice little mini mansion. I'm like, okay, what you got going on? You feel me? Daddy's money for real. But I go ahead though. I call her. I tell her I'm outside. I got your food. I'm here to see you, baby. What's up? She like, okay, I'm finna come down. You feel me? She tell me where the spot, I make sure I got the right house. She open the door. Hey, come on, baby. I go in, warm embrace, get a handful of what's behind her, Go ahead, set the food down. Like, hey, I missed you. She said, oh, you missed me? I said, I missed you for real. I want you real bad. I'm trying to see what's up. So she go ahead and signal me to her room. So we get in her room, y'all. It's a little vibe. We go ahead and lay down. She put on her movie. I'm trying to make one though. Okay, don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make one. I ain't trying to watch a movie. I'm trying to make one. Press play in real life. Fuck you talking about? So, okay, we go ahead, laying down. Her little sister barged into the room first time like, what y'all doing in here? Lame ass song, man. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But I'm like, okay, I gotta play it smooth. So I'm like, man, God. I like tapped it like, and she like, girl, we just watching a movie. Little sister talking about some, I want to watch it too. Bro, now I'm getting type irritated. I'm like, yo, get your ass on somewhere. In my head, of course. But I'm like, just look at this mean mugging her ass. Janice. She like, look, go play with your toys. Go play with your phone. If you got games on your phone, get the fuck out of here. She like, okay. She leaves out. I'm like, okay, haha. I'm back on one action. I got my ISO. So getting a little touchy, getting a little kissy kiss. Getting some kisses, getting some touches. But her little sister barred into the room again. But this time, hey, guess what? Look at this. I said, what the fuck is she doing, bro? Like, yo, what the fuck is she actually doing? At this point, I'm gonna be real, y'all. I'm rethinking my whole life. I know damn well I was not about to let my lust, let the way I was thinking with my dick. This is me, imaginary camera. I'm sitting there about mad as hell, like, damn, this how we finna end it. But I had like a pillow. I threw it at her. She, I disarmed her little ass, man. Gave the pistol to Janice, like, go put that shit up, man. So Janice, she goes to put the gun up. And that's what I'm thinking. And her sister follows right behind her. Janice comes back into the room about 5 minutes later. She just closes the door. She's like, hey, are you okay? In my head, I'm thinking like, hell no, I'm not okay. I just had this little ass girl just come up to me with a pistol and just pointed at me. She had my life in the palm of her hands. Like, hell no, I'm not okay. I was smiling like, hey, baby, it's cool. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Like, what am I doing, bro? And this is what happens when you really get to thinking what you did, bro. Because honestly, I should have left at that point. So me and Janice, we got back on the bed and we got to watching the movie again. And the movie's playing and, we just sitting next to each other. And then we get to just looking at each other, biting our lips, and we right back to it. We back to kissing, touching, and it's really starting to go somewhere. But then, out of nowhere, Janice's sister busts in the room again with the same fucking gun, bro. She comes in, pointed right at me. I'm like, at this point, I'm thinking she got some type of problem with me. What did I do to you? I got you food. I got you, the nuggets, the fries, the milkshake. What else do you want from me? I'm just like, what is your sister doing? Janice like, nah, I don't know what she's doing. She's tripping. And then they gonna start laughing. Janice like, girl, stop playing with him, girl. Stop playing with him, girl. What's wrong with y'all? What's really going on inside of y'all mind? This is not normal behavior. Y'all just laughing like y'all do this shit on the regular. And honestly, I'm just sitting here thinking about my life, man. Thinking about all my decisions up until this point. I feel defeated. I feel like this is God's way of getting back at me for thinking with my dick so many times. Janice goes to her sister. She grabs the gun from her. And she looks at her sister, looks at the gun, and it looks at me. I'm like, you finna go put it up, right? The fuck you waiting on? Go put it up. But then she just gets to smiling. Her little sister gets to smiling, looking straight at me. So I'm like, nah, you ain't gonna give it to me like that. You ain't gonna give it to me like that. You ain't never just finna give it to me like that. But then she just get to laughing again, bruh. Like, got your ass, and then she go put it up. Like, what's wrong with them? Like, this is a very dark sense of humor, my nigga. Like, y'all are playing with lives. Like, imagine if I had some shit on my waist and I just... And then I really would have fucked around and killed somebody. But luckily enough, I didn't have that on me at that time, because I probably would be dead, But yeah, man, so she go put it up again. She comes back into the room and she puts something up against the door to like block her sister from getting in. So I'm like, cool. Now we can finally be done with this motherfucker. But honestly, I should be done with this whole situation. I should have went home after that second time. But no, bro, I'm thinking like, I done made it this far. I done bought them food. I done did all this. I gotta get my rocks off now. Hey, I'm gonna get mine. Trust and believe that. That's my mindset, bro. I'm not thinking straight, bro. Like, this motherfucker down here is doing all the thinking for me right now. Okay, Janice go ahead, she come back like, look, I'm sorry about them, I'm sorry about my sister and whatnot. We get back on the bed. At this point, I'm like, look, we don't even gotta watch the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see what's up with you. Let me see what's up with you. She like, what you mean? I said, look, I'm here. I ain't even trying to watch that movie. I'm trying to do things with you. I'm just, at this point, I'm kind of just, we back in that seductive tone or whatnot. We get to touching a little bit, kissing a little bit. But then she hit me with, hold on, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, yeah, what's up? She said, I'm on my period. I said, you telling me I came all this way? I drove 40 minutes. I bought you food. I got a gun put on me twice just so I could nail and lay it down. I was trying to lay that thing down. And you telling me you're on your period? So she just looking at me, waiting on my response. I just say, you still can use your mouth, right? Yeah, I'm fucking down bad. I'm down bad. I just want to get relieved. I need something to relieve this tension, this stress that I've been under ever since I've set foot into this apartment or this mansion, this mini mansion. All right, I'm tired of all the bullshit. So I'm like, yeah, you still can use your mouth, right? She like, I was so mad. And guess what happened after that? Like 5 minutes after, we started like cuddling a little bit for like 5 minutes, just kind of talking. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm like damn near in that desperate state of mind. I'm like, damn, man, like, so you ain't gonna do nothing. Like you just gonna lay there. I What do you do? I'm not trying to make it obvious that I'm pissed off about everything that's going on, but it's kind of fucking obvious. You can kind of see it on my face, you know? I'm visually pissed off, but I'm trying to calm myself and unpiss myself off, you know? But we kind of just talking, and then somebody calls her phone. I'm like, who is that? She said, oh, that's my mom and dad. She answered. She said, hello? They said, hey, baby girl, you know, we're down the street. You know, about 2 blocks down. You know, we'll be there soon. I'm like, now your pops is coming? Now your mother and your father are about to enter this scenery. I was honestly at a loss for words. And she's like, you gotta get out of here. I'm like, wow. You dead ass. I have to leave? I know I gotta leave, but you gonna give me that, bitch? I just did all this shit. I was so fucking mad. So she go ahead though. She walked me downstairs, you know, walked me to the door. Like, yeah, you gotta go. They down the street. She give me a hug, kiss me on the cheek. I give me a little handful of what's behind her. You know, I need a little son, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, just give me a little handful. And then I go ahead and I make my way out. Now, at this point, I'm outside her house. Her parents are like pulling up as I'm coming out. So I gotta like do some maneuvers so I get like behind a bush. You know, and they kind of just drive up. I think they see me. I just kind of, but they in their car. So I look, and then they ended up like, I think opening their garage. So as they open their garage, I'm creeping. I'm creeping to my car. You feel me? As soon as I get right by my car door, I see him open his car door. He like getting out, looking over. I just hurry up, get in the car. You know what I'm saying? Push the start. I'm out of there. You feel me? Like nothing happened, bro. Like I don't know if he seen me. I don't know if the mother seen me. Regardless of whatever, you know, whoever saw me, I was gone and pissed off because I was sexually frustrated, my nigga. That's what happened when you think what you did. So a few girls later, I had this specific one named Nessa, right? And Nessa, I knew her since my freshman year. You know, we was cool, and she was a freshman, I was a freshman, we the same age. It was just one day, I just came from getting my hair cut though. I went to the mall, you know, I'm like, okay, let me go to the mall real quick, you know, because, you know, hey, I'm trying to see what's up. Maybe I can fuck around, talk to a girl or something, get some numbers, probably buy some, you know, just, it was kind of like a hangout spot, you feel me? Especially in Milwaukee. It was Mayfair Mall. So I go into the mall, I go to the food court. Guess who I see? Nessa. Listen, I see Nessa. And Nessa, she got on, you know what I'm saying, some jeans. You know, it's showing off her curves. You feel me? She got the nice body. Hair was in like a messy bun, but she was looking good though. So I instantly spark up a little conversation like, hey, Nessa, what's up? What you doing here? Nothing too much, you know. Shit. I can say the same to you though. What you doing here? You feel me? So now we just going back in a little conversation. She saying she there with her friends and whatnot, and then she waiting on, I guess, something else. I said, yeah, for sure. So what you getting into later? She like, nothing too much, you know. I'm chilling for the rest of the day. I said, shit, come chill with me. Come chill with me. She said, what you got in mind? I said, shit, let's go grab some food. You feel me? I know a little spot. She said, okay, cool. I'm with it. We ended up leaving the mall now, you know. She go ahead, she hop in my car, you feel me, and we drive off. She said, where you taking me? I said, shit, I'm finna take you to Chick-fil-A. She said, Chick-fil-A? I said, Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? So we hit up Chick-fil-A, grab the food, you know what I'm saying? We still talking and engaged in some good conversation. You know, she just telling me, you know, what's been going on with her for real, you know, because I ain't seen her in a little minute. We go ahead, we park. Now at this point, I'm like, man, you eating that food so good. I'm trying to see if you can eat me like that. You know, so we just like, you know, a little flirty comments and shit here and there. You know how that be. In my mind, I already know I want to get her back to my crib, right? So I'm trying to get her back to my crib. That's the game plan for me. So I go ahead. So I ask her, hey, Nessa, you trying to go see a movie? She like, yeah. What movie did you want to go to? I said, let's go to DC. She said, DC? What's that? You don't know what DC is, baby? She said, boy, stop playing. What's DC? I said, got a nice little setting, big screen movie, nice seating. I think you'll like it. The crib. And she was drawn. She said, all right, let's go. We on the way. So I go ahead, you feel me? We going back to the crib. You know, she playing some music, some Milwaukee music, some music that's just straight low end, low vibrational for real, and no good. But I'm sitting there, yeah, cause I'm just knowing I'm finna take that ass to Pound Town. That was my mindset back then, man. It's like, it was all good with me. I didn't give a damn when she played. So we get to the crib. I go ahead, park in the garage, you feel me? Like, come on, we got somewhere to be, baby, you know? So she go ahead, get out the car. We go in the house. We go through the kitchen. We go through the dining room. Go through this little hallway. Then we bust a left. That's my room. You know, my mama room straight in front of mine. So she on the right side. So I go ahead, go in the room. Like, look, mi casa, tu casa. Make yourself at home. We go ahead. We get on the bed. Back to the flirtatious flirting. I ask her like, you seem kind of tense. You want a massage? She said, I think I do. So I go ahead in my bathroom and I grab some coconut oil. Don't ask me how I knew all this, y'all. I'm a freaky ass little teenager, all right? I've done my work, as you can tell from all the previous, things I went through. I know a little thing, but I know a little thing or two. So I go ahead and I grab the coconut oil and I go back into my room with Nessa. I said, okay, look, go ahead, get on the bed, lay down, make yourself comfortable. You feel me? So she go ahead, she lay down. It was just an innocent massage at first. But then clothes got to getting removed. Pieces of clothing were just being tossed and thrown off by the both of us. And it got to the point where we were fully unclothed. So at this point, she's hot and ready. You feel me? So I go ahead and put my coin into her coin machine, so I could go ahead and get that booping. We're doing our thing for about 5 minutes, right? We decide to go ahead and switch the positioning of how we want to go ahead and play this game, right? Because I put my coin in her coin machine, so now we're deciding to change up the game a little bit. And something's happening. My coin was no longer able to be inserted. Why? It seemed like it just wasn't hard enough and it just didn't go in. So at this point, I'm kind of just sitting there like, I'm saying, it's kind of an awkward moment. She like, what's going on? I said, can you get the coin machine back up? So she's trying to get the coin back up using her mouth, and it's just not working, y'all. It's not working. So she ended up just stopping and then just laying down, looking at the TV. I'm just like, you want to know what it is? She said, what is it? I said, I ate an edible earlier this morning. That's why it's not really doing what it's supposed to do. She said, She knew damn well I was lying. And she said, well, I'm ready to go home. That was the most painful thing to hear at that moment. The real reason why I couldn't get the coin machine to work was not because I ate an edible earlier in the morning. No, it was because the day before I was beating my meat back to back to back. I went 6 rounds total. 6 rounds. And honestly, it was a hard thing to say. That's why I didn't say it in the moment. And that's why I'm saying it now. So if she's seeing this, that's the reason why that happened. It is what it is. We all fuck up. You know how that be. But that's what happened, And this corn is really ruining my life, y'all. I missed out on experience because of my lustful ways, And even though the experience was another lustful experience, it was like, damn, I couldn't even get it up to actually go ahead and pursue some pleasure with a girl. I'm like, damn, that's embarrassing. Fast forward to my senior year, man, and at this point, I still had a roster of females, but it was one female in specifically I met named Tiana. Now, Tiana was a transfer student from a different school, and she just transferred for, the senior year. So it's one day in class, it was like my 5th period, and it was modern fiction. If you don't know what modern fiction is, it's basically just kind of like film. So I'm sitting in the back and she kind of sitting in front of me, right to the side. At the time, I was selling snacks, and I was a snack seller. I was making my moves, I was hustling. So I'm just saving my plays in class, you feel me? Serving people chips, drinks. I had the Doritos, the Cheetos. I had everything you needed. Okay. Oh, you want some fruit punch, Capri Sun? Okay, go give me that money and let's have some fun. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm making my moves. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, peep that. I was like on my shit and making some money. So she just kind of, oh, you sell snacks? I said, yeah. She said, okay, what's your name? You know, we kind of just sparked up a little conversation. I said, my name Emery. What about you? She said, okay, yeah, my name's Tiana. It's nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? So we just kind of getting acquainted a little bit. And I said, okay, you want something? She said, no, I don't want nothing. But it's good to know that you sell it. I know what to look for now. I said, Don't block your blessings either. Don't be shy. She said, I'm not. From there, we just really like got to know each other for real. You know, it was like a genuine connection that was just built. Sometimes she would skip school with me and she would ride with me to Chick-fil-A. We go get some food. She'll be with me when I'm restocking my snacks after school. We would just be hanging out a lot more. But then it was this one specific day where Tiana had an idea. She like, let's go to Wisconsin Dells. I'm like, shit, I'm with it. You feel me? So it was me, my homeboy Jay, and then it was, you know, my girl Tiana. You know, we weren't in a relationship, but it was like, it felt like it down there. And then, you know, you had Jay girl Alexis. Now me and Tiana and Jay and Alexis, we had went on previous 2 mans before. You know, we went bowling before. We was hanging out after school before. It was kind of like we were all the things. So Tiana go ahead, she texts a group chat like, yo, we trying to go to Wisconsin Dells. Y'all trying to go? Jay and Alexis like, yeah, we with it. So we did it on a Sunday. The plan was we gonna go ahead and we gonna ride in Tiana car and we gonna go to Wisconsin Dells. So Jay, he ended up coming to my house. You know, we get ready. You know, we shopping like, yeah, we better go to 2 man. We better go to Wisconsin Dells. You know, they gonna be in their bikinis. They gonna be in some, you know what I'm saying? So we just kind of talking, chopping it up. They go ahead, they call like, yo, we outside. We go outside, we see them, and we get in the car and we ride out to Wisconsin Dells. Me and Tiana got real intimate, y'all. Like, it was a very intimate experience between us. So we arrived at Wisconsin Dells and everybody, you know, they ready to go ahead, get in the water, whatnot. You know, I say 30 minutes into the trip, I ended up accidentally breaking Tiana's phone because I was like, yo, we lit, you know, with my mama, we lit. And I just accidentally slapped her phone out her hand. Now she was like, kind of pissed off, like, you feel me? I was like, damn, I just fucked up the whole day for her. But moving forward, she kind of shrugged it off. I told her like, hey, look, don't even trip on that shit, baby. You know, I'll pay for that, you know? And I was gonna pay for that. You know, I had the money to pay for it. You feel me? I ain't tripping. I broke it. I got you. If I say I got you, I got you. You know, she kind of fucked with that, you know what I'm saying? I'll say a little bit more into the day. There was a time where we had just left a Starbucks drive-through. Everybody had just got some water cups. At this time, we had parked. Tiana was like, let's get in the back seat. I said, okay, Slim, hold on. She like, let's get in the back seat. I'm like, cool. She told Jan and Alexis to get in the front. And they obliged, you know, they like, okay, cool, let's get in the front. So we just kind of all switched positioning. And now we in the back, and it's a lot of non-verbal communication going on right here. We get just looking at each other. Like, she take her shoes off and she got her foot and she like put it somewhere where she know damn well it wasn't supposed to be, and she just kind of looking at me, biting her lip, and it's a lot of nonverbal things going on. You feel me? It's a lot of nonverbal sexual cues. I'm like, oh, she doing this when they in the front. You feel me? I'm like, oh, you feel me? So after that, it's time for us to pretty much go. So we go ahead, we making our way back. Whole time, y'all, my mother does not know I'm out of state at Wisconsin Dells. Like, Wisconsin Dells is like 2 hours away, and I have school the next day. If my mama find out I'm gone, my ass is grass. You feel me? So, but it is what it is. You feel me? We gonna make it do what it do. So we on the way back home. I'm thinking I'm home free. My mama gets a call me like, where you at? Where you at? I can't contact you. It seems like, you know, you're not here. What the fuck's going on? It's late, y'all. It's getting late. It's like after 10. I'm like, oh shit. And we like an hour away from even dropping me off. We still gotta drop everybody else off. Then at the time, it was raining. So it was like hard to even see. And then our phones end up dying. So we had to go stop at this gas station and recharge them. So Jan and Alexis like, hey, stop at this gas station right here. We see a gas station, you know, we stop at it. Cool. They go inside to charge their phones. Now me and Tiana in the car, you know, we finna go in after them, I guess. You know, we have to take turns using a charger. So now me and Tiana got a little one-on-one time. So we just kind of talking. You know, I'm like, you wild for what you just did when we was, you know, at that little drive-thru. She like, what you talking about? So I can do more. I said, oh, you can. I said, so can I? Jay called me. I'm trying to act like I don't see the phone. She like, who is that? I said, oh, I ain't nobody. Shit, this is my phone, a little notification. But now back to me and you though. Jay called me again. I'm like, bro, watch out, bro. So he just calling. And she said, hey, I think you want something. You should probably go check on him. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I answer. He's like, yo, get in here. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. So me and Tiana ended up, going inside. It was some fucking bullshit catastrophe going on between him and Alexis. Like, oh, Alexis acting funny. She don't want to talk. Some bullshit they got going on. Some drama. I'm like, bro, you could have just handled that on your own. You don't need me. I'm trying to get in the car and handle mine. We ended up charging all our phones and we got some snacks and we went back to the crib. Now, on the way back home, my mama is intensely blowing my phone up. I mean, she's literally blowing it. I can't catch a break. So I go ahead, I just say, fuck it. I power my phone off. I turn it off. You feel me? Because I don't want her to get in the way of what may happen with me and Tiana later. So I'm thinking I'm slick. So we go ahead. Boom, we go ahead and drop Alexis off. Jay got the car, do what he got to do. You feel me? I think he, got a little handful of what's behind and, got a little kids. He got back in the car with us. Cool. We go ahead, zoom, drop him off. Jay in the door. As soon as Jay got in the crib, Tiana instantly look at me, eyeing me down. I'm like, it's about to go down. We go ahead and we drive back to my crib. At this time, I was in this like apartment little complex. It was this gated community. We go ahead and park in this little parking lot. I'm already know it's finna go down. Did a little bit of talking. She ended up getting on top of me. My mother instantly calls my phone. But guess what? It's dead. She realizes that. So guess what she does? She calls my other phone. Ring, 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 ring. And then she puts it in Find My iPhone mode. I'm like, bro. And then she instantly texts me. She said, I see your location. Answer the phone now. I said, damn. So I go ahead. I answer the phone. She said, look, I know where the fuck you are. I don't know what the hell you think you're doing, but you need to bring your ass home right now. I said, damn. I thought I was home free. So I ended up telling Tiana, like, look, I gotta go in the house, but I'll see you again. She said, you sure everything all right? I said, everything's smooth. So I go in the house. Mom's just, where the fuck were you? You need to explain this shit right now. She yelling at me. I'm thinking it's over. But she ended up just, go to your room. I go in my room, close the door. Now, my mother saw that Tiana was a true wild card. Like, she was one hell of a thrill. It was never a dull moment. It was always something that was going to happen when I was with her. That's why I fucked with her so much. But I ended up ending things off with Tiana. Not necessarily like, oh, we done talking. I just kind of distanced myself. I really stopped talking to Tiana because I realized that short-term fun, that lustful urge I got and that lustful thrill I got when I was with her, it was very distracting. And it took me away from my purpose, my lifelong purpose of really being able to dial in on who I was as a person and just focus on me for real. It was taken away from me. So I had to go ahead and just cut it off. Fast forward to the end of my senior year, I finally graduated from high school in 2023. I moved to Atlanta to chase my dreams as an online content creator and entrepreneur. From all of these past experiences, it showed me how lust was negatively affecting my life. And as soon as I got down here at ATL, I thought all of those lustful desires would just magically disappear. But I was painfully mistaken. In fact, it turned out to be the complete opposite, which put me in more lustful and even life-threatening situations. But I think that's enough for today. If you want to know the next part of the story, drop a part 2 in the comments down below. And if you happen to be struggling with lust, I made a lust detox ebook to help you deal with it. Just click the first link in the description and you'll be able to access it. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all later.